Feminism is an ideology that, as defined by history, calls for political, economic, and cultural equality of women, striving for the recognition and protection of women's rights within society. It embraces diversity in gender and advocates for legal measures to ensure women's rights are upheld. Whenever we hear such a term, some of us may tend to link its concept to the notion of empowerment, one that implies various definitions and positive or detrimental outcomes. But truly, we must understand the historical roots that paved the way for such a movement to commence, driving its deep-seated quest for societal change. Beginning in the late 19th century, the first wave of feminism, also known as the women's suffrage movement, arose in response to societal factors and inequalities that profoundly affected women in the Western world. While its primary focus was on securing women's right to vote, historical narratives reveal a broader mission. This wave sought to establish women's involvement in legal, social, and political spheres, extending beyond electoral voting to encompass areas such as education, economics, church leadership, and legal personhood. Why? Because during that era, women were often regarded as possessions, subject to the authority of men. Their existence is veiled, specifically after marriage. This then prompted prominent figures such as Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott, who were among the 300 participants in the first formal women's rights convention in Seneca Falls, New York, to stand and call for liberty. This event is depicted in the film entitled Suffragette, which chronicles the stories of women who risked their livelihoods, families, and even their lives in the struggle for equality and suffrage.
Women should not exercise judgment in political affairs.
If we allow women to vote, it will mean the loss of social structure.
Vote for women! Fight for women!
And this media content, women are portrayed as individuals with utmost bravery and determination to fight for what they perceive is right, thereby challenging the traditional concept of womanhood. The first wave served as the foundation that paves the way for the expansion and evolution of subsequent feminist movements. After the ratification of the 19th Amendment in 1920, which granted women's suffrage, the fight for women's rights continued with the emergence of the second wave of feminism in the 1960s. This wave broadened the scope of activism to address issues such as domestic violence, financial independence, workplace equality, reproductive rights, and sexuality. Legislative changes occurred during this period, including the criminalization of rape in marriage, the decriminalization of abortion, and the promotion of equal workplace opportunities for women, aiming to, as stated by Martha Rampton, pass the Equal Rights Amendment to the Constitution, guaranteeing social equality regardless of sex. The documentary She's Beautiful When She's Angry sheds light on significant events in the journey of women towards liberation, highlighting the feminist issues and discrimination faced in the United States. This representation highlights how women demanded healthcare awareness and access to education in pursuit of understanding their own bodies and reproductive health. Soon afterwards, the third wave of feminism in the mid-1990s arose owing to the greater leaps achieved by prominent figures of the second wave. This movement is pioneered by the daughters of the former generation, influenced by the postmodernist movement who sought to question, reclaim, and redefine the ideas, words, and media that have transmitted ideas about womanhood, gender, beauty, sexuality, femininity, and masculinity, among other things. In this wave, women of color are embraced and included, emphasizing the ideals of gender intersectionality with other social identities and fighting for the rights of marginalized groups within the feminist movement as one of its pursuit for their advocacies. The media depicted the women under this wave as assertive, powerful, and in control of their own sexuality, as seen in prominent films like Hidden Figures, where girls of colors are wise, innovative, and capable of taking the lead.
The gal for that. She can handle any numbers you put in front of her.
You and I are different from each other.
This is about inventing the math.
In the fight of our lives, people.
My gals are ready. We can do the work.
the current generation, the battle for equality and women's empowerment continues to unfold as the new wave, known as the fourth wave of feminism, began around 2010. Activists in this era adopt a more assertive approach, utilizing their voices and leveraging social media as powerful tools to advocate for their causes and reach wider audiences. The hashtag #MeToo movement gained significant traction in the media, amplifying the voices of diverse yet unified women. While it retains some elements of previous waves, the fourth wave stands out for its global reach and interconnectedness, uniting women from various backgrounds through the internet to address issues such as sexism, ableism, violence against women, and rape culture. As it is epitomized as digital activism, it also gives rise to diverse feminist ideals and discourses, exemplified in films like The Hate You Give, which sheds light on the experiences of women of color facing racial discrimination and stereotypes. The fourth wave of feminism is an act that moves for the sake of women of different colors, statuses, and races, profoundly emphasizing the power of diversity and unity together for a shared pursuit of gender and racial equality. In conclusion, each wave of feminism plays a crucial role in undermining the toxic exemplifications and ideals imposed by the standards of society toward women. The first wave fought for their political and economic rights, challenging the idea of women as housewives or domestic properties. The second wave sought the ever coveted equality between men and women, demonstrating women's capabilities in traditionally male dominated spheres. The third wave expanded its objectives to encompass issues of power and identity. Lastly, the fourth wave takes on all the pursuits of women and combines them in an online space made to enlighten the various facets of the globe. Despite the ongoing struggles, all that women desire is to be acknowledged, respected, and valued not as mere properties, but as individuals capable of living and making meaningful contributions to society.